Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, this was breaking news like late last night, and I couldn't get the story out because I'd already shut down everything. I'd gone away, and I didn't want to be doing it. But I did put a heads up, did a little flash video. And of course, it's all about that most important of questions. It's a very difficult question. It's a question that it seems to be almost impossible to answer if you are a politician. That question is, of course, what is a woman? Well, the SNP government have a definition of a woman which is totally at variance of what everyone else says, and they've put it into a piece of legislation, and now they're having to walk it back. The pressure group for Women Scotland has forced them to change what they want women to be to what women actually are. And it's all to do with the representation of women in boardrooms. And they're saying that, no, just because you're a man with a mental condition who likes to wear a frock, that does not a woman make. Well, they have changed it. It's a victory for common sense. It's a victory for sanity. Long may it continue. Long may the voice of the people continue to be heard. We'll take a look at this, see what the story is, see what's going on, and just say, phew, we're starting to win. Here goes. So, SNP government in humiliating climb down as it removes their definition of woman from gender quota legislation. And it's about time. These pretendy Wendy's are not going to get it all their own way all the time. Women's rights group for Women Scotland welcomed the U-turn from the Scottish Government, which has seen them amend their Gender Representation on Public Boards Act to remove the definition of woman after it was deemed unlawful. Well done, girls. Well done to you. It's nice to have a win, isn't it? It's nice for sanity to be present in these things. The Scottish Government has been forced into a humiliating climb down and has had to remove the definition of woman from legislation about a gender quota. The Gender Representation of Public Boards Act will be amended to remove a section which defines what a female is. Because what they were saying, of course, is it's a mentally ill man in a frock is also a woman. Clearly not. And you could have the case, and this is not impossible, of course, where you could have, let's say, 20 board members at a meeting, every single one of them male, but half of them counted as female because, although they're men, they're wearing a dress. How does that help women? How does that help women in any way? Oh, well, look, half our board are women. Not one of them is a woman. Anyway, passed in 2018, the bill sought to increase female representation on public boards, with the objection of having half of their non-exec members be women. But in it, it defines women as to include all trans women, men, regardless of whether they've obtained a gender recognition certificate or not. The other thing I will point out is that if you are mandating that half the board have to be women, then you are mandating that by necessity, sometimes better qualified, more experienced men may lose a job or lose the position, the right to the position, for the sake of which room someone goes to the toilet in. You'd have two candidates. One could be particularly excellent and happen to be a male. One could be not as good but be female, but be picked simply because of her sex. So that strikes me as manifestly unfair. And I'm not saying that as a man. I'm saying that as someone who would say, please can we employ the best person regardless of what or who they are. It just seems sensible. Anyway, this part of the legislation was challenged by a feminist group for Women Scotland, with a court ruling that this definition was out with the competence of the Scottish Parliament. Yay, hey, woo-hoo, let's throw a party, pop the champagne corks. The SNP executive have now confirmed that they would be looking at removing this aspect of the Act, but they're being very ungenerous about it, which we'll come to right now. The court session ruled in February that Holyrood did not have the power to have expanded the definition of women. Judges added that the definition of a woman was adopted in the bill, which impinges on the nature of protected characteristics, which is a reserved matter. Now, basically what they're saying is, SNP, marvellous, yes, brilliant, super, you don't have the power to change what a woman is. It's not within your remit, it's not within your aegis So stop it. Don't do it. You're not allowed to. And so they can't. And so the very fact that they tried to slip this in, backdoor it in a different law, rather than address it in a law of its own, which they knew would be open to so much challenge. But if they could backdoor it silently and sneak it in, sleek it wee feckers that they are, and get it in the back door of this law, and then say, oh, but it's already in law. Look, we've already got a case that this is in law. And then they can bring it through that way. But of course, no one's having that allowed. And they've been told, no, you've got to take it out. You can't have it. Someone's picked up on it. Well done. Anyway, it has led to the Scottish Government laying the gender representation on Public Board Amendment Bill before Parliament, which will entirely remove the section which seeks to define woman. Now, this is what I say about being a bit ungenerous about it. Social Justice Secretary Shirley-Anne Somerville, a woman with more skeletons in her closet than a Halloween stockist, said the legislation to amend the Act will align the Act with the Court of Session ruling to ensure that the statute book is not misleading. This is something we believe we are required to do in light of the court's ruling. Not something that we are happy to do now that the case has been clarified. It's something we're grudgingly doing because we've got no option. And they don't like the fact that they can't have men who pretend to be women to be counted as women. What, come off it. And Julianne Somerville, she's an awful person. What a history that woman's got. Anyway, the change does not impact how the 2018 Act has worked since the court's ruling. The Scottish Government remains committed to achieving greater gender equality and creating a fairer Scotland for everyone. We don't want a fair Scotland. You want a Scotland where those who work hard are rewarded, regardless of who or what they are. There should be no basis for advancement on the basis of colour, age, sexuality, sex, any of that. That should all be free. What you should look at is this person the best person for the job? Yes, hire that person. Anyway, repeated court cases broke out from the legislation due to this definition, with it also playing a part in the row surrounding the Gender Reform Recognition Act, another act of madness that goes against most people in Scotland, or most people around the world, in fact. This is because feminist campaigners claimed that the SNP executive were erasing females through its definition, which of course they are. They don't want women to be a thing on their own. They want women to be an envelope term, meaning certain people who adhere to an ideal rather than something that is actually binary and factual and scientifically defined. And so woman as a sex ceases. You just stop being women. You just become woman. Meaning anyone who wants or wishes to be a woman is a woman. And it's just clearly wrong. Why? Well, we know why. They want to sexualise. They want men to have the right to go in changing rooms, get their tackle out in front of young girls, go, okay, you can't say anything as I'm wagging me cock in your face, because that's who they are. It's all on their march to normalise pee, and this is just a little useful stepping stone on the way. I think come the next election, we can vote on what we think about the sexualisation of young children. I think we need to know which way to vote. Anyway, there we go. So, another victory, another win for common sense, another defeat for the SNP in their push to just basically pervert everything, because it is a party of perverts, predators and peds, isn't it? And long may it really, soon be gone. It'll soon be gone. Come the next general election, when they lose all those seats at Parliament, they've got no money, they'll be gone. Thank heavens for that. Anyway, great news for us. Thank you very much for watching. I did mention it last night, so I'm very pleased to be able to get the story out first thing this morning, as I promised. And then we'll keep watching and keep these people scrutinised and honest. Thank you very much. So there we are, a victory. We start the day with a great video, one that makes us all feel good because sense is there. We're winning. The silent majority of normal people who just don't want the world to turn to shit have actually had a victory, and it's nice. So thank you all, one and all, for watching this. Do please hit the like button. Very important. Do hit the like button. Do please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm going to go and do one. I've got loads of videos. I'm not going to get all through these videos today. Just story after story after story. Just an absolute rake of them. So I'll just have to crack on. Anyway, till the next video, stay safe, stay well, and I speak to you later. Bye.